Ralph, a lot of the music we've been playing has been American. Where else have your influences come from?
Well, the short answer is probably from everything from the Billy Cotton Band show to, everything I heard as I was growing up. But actually getting back to the folk influence, I think would be honest of me to say that it was really only when I got into Irish music that I began to really understand the beauty of our own tradition. The reason that Irish music appealed to me, I think, is its incredible soul, its depth of expression, its breaking of formal rules. It's not technically correct, but it charms me, and in Irish music it's now been accepted as the way a piece is played. A classic example of this, which was introduced to me by Noel Murphy one night after a few jars, he said, "I've got a piece of music I want to play to you," and I still think it's one of the most beautiful tunes I've ever heard. It's called Lord Mayo, and it's from the Chieftains 3 album.
Fascinating, Ralph, that was really what started arousing your interest in English traditional music.
Well, I think it's, as I said, it's probably because it wasn't a natural tradition that we had. It was a part of a revival, and things were so formal. But then you look at melodies and you see the same sort of thing must have existed here before it died out or was forced out or whatever happened to it. And my later writing, especially through influence of friends like Fairport and some of the folk rock bands, if you like, I discover that I use the tradition quite a lot in my structures of my later songs in particular. Yeah.
Well, let's have a look at one or two of your own songs now. From Clare to Here, that sounds like a good link with Ireland.
Yes, I was a labourer for a while on building sites around London, actually quite deliberately sort of trying to follow the tradition of Woody Guthrie and work and save and then hitchhike around and so on. And that's where I came into contact again with Irish people, Irish fellas who were working on the site. And I did try to write a song that would sound Irish, I must say, that was very conscious. In fact, there's even, on my version on the record, there's even a bit of an Irish accent, which I just sort of dropped into. I regret it now, but it's sort of trying to get at one with what I was trying to do. I gave this song originally to Noel Murphy, who carried it around with him in his pocket for ages. I was away in America, and I came back, and Nana said to me, that's my wife, said, "Noel's been on the phone constantly since you gave him those words. He wants the tune." So I went round that very night, and he was gigging in Coventry, and I sang him the tune. I only sang it once, and he said, "Yeah, I have it." I said, "No, you're sure you have it? You've only heard it the once." He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm going to do it tonight." And it so happened that night in this club the Fury Brothers were there. They heard Noel doing it, and they immediately recorded it. Now, Noel did get the tune a little wrong, so it's quite interesting when I go to Ireland and ask people to join in, because they sing the Fury Brothers version, which is slightly different. What it did for me was it gave it the stamp of authenticity, having the lads do it. They do it far too fast, but there's something about the spirit in which they play that delights me, and so I'm very happy with this version of From Clare to Here.
The Furies and Davy Arthur, it's certainly different from the way you sing it, Ralph. Well, that was a kind of step towards your present style, I suppose. How long ago did you write that?
Goodness, it must be 1977, yes.
And you've really evolved a kind of English style now, I think.
Yeah, well, I'd like to think that it's recognisably mine, Recently I've been sort of trying to write for other people rather than just myself, and that's led me to approach songs in a different way, and I've written a couple of things for Fairport. In fact, I'd like to play a track that they've done of mine to sort of close the show with.